Welcome to Watches with Dennis, and today I'm reviewing the Cartier Santos 100 large model. This is the reference W20073X8. This watch is from my personal collection. It was purchased in used condition and I've owned it a week at this point. The quality when received was excellent, so the visible scratches and nicks that you'll see on this watch are actually from my own use. The Cartier Santos is one of Cartier's most famous watch lines, given its history as the first men's wristwatch. The Santos 100 series itself is discontinued at this point, but they are readily available on the used market. So with that basic introduction out of the way, let's go ahead and take some measurements. The watch width without the crown is 38 millimeters. If we include the crown, it gets up to about 42.7 millimeters. The watch lug to lug is 51 millimeters. The watch thickness is 10.5 millimeters. And the watch lug width is 23 millimeters. This watch offers 100 meters of water resistance. This reference features a matte silver dial. The hours are marked in the traditional Cartier Roman numeral format in a black lacquer, and the minute track is on the interior section of the watch dial and is also done in black. So you see there is a high degree of contrast between the dial and the markings. The hour and minute hands are the sword style. They are also black and they do contain Loom. And the central seconds hand is also black. There is additional dial text, but it is minimal. You can see beneath the 12 o'clock position is the name Cartier. Then above the 6 o'clock position is the word automatic. At the base of the 6 o'clock position, let me adjust the angle a bit so you can see it. You can see the often noted Swiss made flanking the 6 o'clock marker. If we zoom in some, you can see that the leg of the 7 o'clock V is the word Cartier as well. As I noted, the hour and minute hand do feature Loom. Those are the only two aspects of the watch that are loomed, and I don't find it very impressive Loom, but let me go ahead and insert some Loom footage here so you can see it after it was freshly charged. The watch case itself is stainless steel, and the dial is protected by a sapphire crystal, and you can see it features a screw-down bezel. Most of the watch surface is brushed, though the bezel is polished. The watch does contain crown guards, and you can see the crown itself has an inset cabochon. The entire case curves to help hug the wrist, and is far more effective at controlling the size of this watch versus just curving the lugs. But that will be more obvious when I show you the wrist shot. The watch does come on an alligator strap with a deployant clasp. This clasp mechanism is quite sturdy, or so it feels. This is my first deployant clasp strap, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. However, the hardware looks quite robust to me. This watch does not have a screw-down crown, and it features two positions. So when it's all the way in, the crown is in position 0, as it is right now, and this is where you can actually hand wind the watch. And then if you were to pull the crown out into position 1, hacking does happen. You can see the seconds hand has stopped, and we are able to go and set the time. Push the crown back in, seconds hand kicks back up, and we're back with our maximum 100 meters of water resistance. Flipping this watch over, you can see that we have some markings and it's just a closed case back in steel. The watch itself is powered by the Cartier Caliber 049. That movement is actually based on the ETA 2892-A2. That is an automatic movement. It beats at 4 Hz, has 21 joules, and offers approximately 42 hours of power reserve. When I placed this watch on my time grapher, I got an average across all 6 positions of minus 7.8 seconds per day. My range of readings were as low as a loss of 14 seconds per day, and my highest rating was actually still a loss at 3 seconds per day. Here's a shot of the watch on my 6.75-inch wrist. And here's some more footage on my wrist, but this time outside. It is a bit overcast and early in the morning, so it's not as much light as some of my other review videos have shown, but we make do with what we have. So, what are my overall thoughts on this watch? I'd say two notable positives is it is a well laid out and easy to read dial, and it does have a nice curved case. And the two main negatives are it's not great accuracy for the price point, and the bezel is going to be a scratch magnet. As the Santos 100 is not currently produced, pricing is subject to what they are trading for secondhand. Depending on year, condition, and other typical variables, I would say this watch tends to currently trade for between $4,000 to $6,000, with Chrono 24 currently tagging an average price for a very good condition model at about $5,300 US. This is a big watch for a square watch. The curved case really helps a lot with that, and I hope my wrist shot really showed that off. This is one of the most comfortable watches I've worn because the weight is so nicely distributed across my wrist. That this watch comes on an alligator strap also suggests it wants to be a dress watch, but obviously the size makes that more of a statement piece dress watch than anything else. There are much smaller Santos watches available for those who worry about this watch being too large in this particular model. The Cartier Santos, be it this model or others, are known to get a lot of scratches in the polished bezel, which often stands out against the brushed case. I imagine it will look better as those scratches even out. I'm also someone who tends to put a lot of scratches on my watches just given how I wear them, but if you are someone who is bothered by scratches, I would actually suggest steering clear of the Santos line entirely, at least those with polished bezels. I am a bit disappointed in the watch's accuracy, not overall, but given the price point of the watch. Its average is good enough that I won't be bothering to open this up and regulate it myself, but again, for watches that cost this many thousands of dollars, I always ding them on my reviews if they aren't meeting a COSC standard on accuracy. It didn't advertise that level of accuracy, it's just a personal judgment I have at the price point. Those are the main items of note. I know the Loom isn't very strong, but again, it's only on the hour and minute hand anyway, so the practicality of any accurate reading was never going to be there, even with strong Loom on those hands, because there's just not any other Loom on the dial. The watch dial is large, but I think Cartier did a good job keeping the dial both classic and easy to read. And I think the strap hardware is pretty cool too. The way it feeds, it looks like it would actually be extremely easy to reuse if you happen to wear through your strap and just want to put in another leather strap into this deployant clasp. Overall, I would say if you like larger watches, but you want something that can be formal or more casual, and you enjoy square watch design, then the Cartier Santos 100 is definitely worth looking into. I imagine something like a silicone strap option that you could choose to add on aftermarket would really dress the watch down. So even though this is a Roman numeral dial, which I typically find far more formal than other layouts or numeric formats that you would have on a dial, I do think this really could get pretty casual, especially given the size. Thanks for watching this review video. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like as it helps the channel out. Subscribe if you'd like to be automatically notified when I release new videos. Thanks for watching and have a great day.